Hey guys, this is Ronnie here from Earlybird Farms. Today we're going to do a little April farm tour update, show you what we got growing on. So let's get to it. Alright guys, we'll start out here in the vegetable garden. It's been slack this year. The only thing I got planted still is the onions, the garlic, and the lettuce. I still got to finish making some beds, but let's show you what the onions look like. Alright, this is all the seeds that we have. Seed them. This is some abelia that we tried to root. I can't remember what this is, but whatever it is, it's doing good. These are butterfly bushes that are growing. One of my white oak seeds. Here's the bucket of white oak seeds, and as you can see, they're all ready to be transplanted. This is a hydrangea. Rooting from my mom's house. It looks rough, but if you look, you can see some new leaves popping on. Butterfly bush that I rooted, butterfly bush. Another butterfly bush. Hydrangea. This is some lantana. I was in Florida about 2 weeks ago and I got this lantana. It was growing wild beside our house. As you can see right there at the bottom, there's a few leaves coming off, and this is still green. So that's gonna make it. And as you can see, there's a leaf popping on that too. Both of those are gonna make it. Here's our Dunstan chestnuts. If you can see, these are about 12 foot tall. I have a video, an update video that I did. I'll put a card up at the top where you can go watch that series where we planted that. And I just put a part 2 video out on that. As you can see, every one of them come up. These are pawpaw seeds. I got a video coming up on that you'll be able to see where we planted those. Comfrey is doing great. All of these have sprouted except for a few. You can see some sprouts there, sprouts there. This is a daylily, but all of them have sprouted. I had 10 of these, and this is a Chinese chestnut that I got from the farm store not far from my house. And I already showed you the onions. Now I filmed the onion video the day before, and today I did all this. So I've got my beds made. I know in the onion video I mentioned I didn't have them, but I went ahead and got my compost laid out, and I got my mulch in between. And I'm ready to plant something here. I just got to figure out how I'm going to plant them, where I'm going to put my tomatoes. Probably just going to do bell peppers, tomatoes, cucumbers, and squash in here. And with the tomatoes, I'm going to put some basil and probably some carrots. Do some interplanting. Now yesterday I also cleaned this whole area out. I sheet mulched this. As you can know, I've been experimenting with the lasagna style of gardening. So I put down some hay, some cardboard first, some hay, and I put compost around each one of my trees, and then I put wood chips on top. These are thornless blackberries. You can see they're blooming really good. And this is rosemary. And this is pretty much what that bed over there looked like before I did all that. And you can see the hay, and then the cardboard, and then the mulch on top. So all of these are doing good. This one looks dead, but it's got some shoots at the bottom. These are Egyptian walking onions. Blueberries. Had a deer come in and nip all the ends off of these. I transplanted the lavender that's over there at the house right here. This bed will be next. I'm gonna go buy me some peat moss and mix it with my I'm actually going to put a layer of leaves down around these, and then get some peat moss and mix it with my compost and put on top. And then I'll mulch around all this good. Put some cardboard down, all that. Try to build up get some more acidic compost in here with that peat moss and those leaves. But I'm gonna try to redo this fence area too, and actually put me some poles in the ground and get a different type of fence. And I'm gonna expand this maybe down here to where this trampoline is, and this will give me an area to put my trees in as they're growing. So that's the idea. Might build me a little potting bench in here, and then I'll put me a gate right here. I already got a gate to use. I just put it in here. All that to the left will be the garden, and I'll leave the middle of it open right here. I'm gonna leave that tree. I think I'm gonna leave that tree right there so it'll provide shade for my trees and stuff like that. Kind of let this area just grow wild. This has got this is where I planted the mixture of the turnips and mustard greens last year, and there's some red clover in here. A little bit of everything, some wild weeds, some oats and wheat. I've overseeded this with some millet and some buckwheat, so we'll see what happens with that. Shasta daisies are really blooming. This right here is purple coneflower. I raised this from seed. The Shasta daisies I got from Lowe's in the mountains. We were on a trip up in Blowing Rock, Boone area, and I actually picked those up at Sugar Mountain, which is right next to both of those. Those are doing great. But I raised this from seed a couple years ago, and I've moved this a couple places, and it looks like it's doing pretty good here. So we're gonna leave it be for the time being. I dug up the lavender here, and I'm gonna plant a shrub here. I got a dwarf gardenia that I'm gonna plant there, and I'm gonna move the strawberries. They don't like this area. Gonna either make one of those gutter systems that I've been seeing other people make, like Dan at Home and the Sticks and a few others, or I'm either gonna just plant these around my fruit trees. Rosemary's looking awesome. Actually has some blooms on it this year. The azaleas are still blooming. Hosta has come back. These are coral bells. I've actually bought a third one to go in front here. Seems like they liking this location. These are my rhododendrons. These were in bloom and they were gorgeous. You can see the blooms are dying off, but they were covered in white. But you can see a lot of new growth coming on here. The abelia here is looking good. It should be blooming anytime. This is Little Henry. I'm transitioning this creeping Jenny. I've moved it out of here, and I got it in my grow boxes up there. These are Black Eye Susans that are coming back. Here's my planter boxes. Here's that creeping Jenny I was talking about. It likes this location here too. The Gara is making a comeback. I cut this back in January because it was just so big. And like I said, these are Laura Pedalum. I'm gonna move these eventually. As soon as I get some more abelia, I'm gonna put abelia right there, and I'm gonna move these 3 Laura Pedalum around the tree over there where my bird feeders are, and then I'm gonna mix some azaleas around it. I dug up the monkey grass. I'm gonna plant something here in this square. Just hadn't decided yet. Maybe some daylilies or something else. Still decided on that. This is dianthesis, or it's actually a variety of carnation. The hyssop's coming back. Butterfly bush is looking good. I planted some daylilies around it, in front of it here. They're just now starting to take off. These are spiderworts, also called widow's tears. The native plant. They can be kind of invasive. You gotta keep an eye on those. And I planted These are the little Henrys that I raised, and then I dug up a few more volunteers. I planted some sedum right there, and this is some woodland phlox that's coming up right there. I got that in here, so hopefully this is all going to fill in and look kind of native. Swing to the left of that, we got our orchard here. Most of our trees still look good despite having 2 late frosts. The pear, the plum, and the peach trees all took it fairly well. See, we got some onions and some garlic planted around here. Kind of starting of a little guild, fruit tree guild. This apple tree didn't take it too good. Not sure if it killed it or not. It don't look like it's too good right now, so we'll see. That was a yellow delicious. This apple tree is an Arkansas black, and it looked like it did pretty good. My fig tree, the tender little leaves on it got burnt, but I do have some new growth coming on at the bottom there, so hopefully it didn't hurt it. This yellow delicious tree is doing fine. It didn't hurt it. Didn't burn none of the leaves. That one up there never really had its leaves on. My pawpaw tree had leaves coming on, and the frost burned it. But it does already have some new leaves right here coming on. Peach tree has some peaches forming. You can see them right there. They're very tiny. Most people say cut those off the first year, but I guess I'm gonna leave them. Just see what happens. This is a nectarine, it did good. This last pawpaw tree down here I thought was dead, but I finally see some, it's just taking it a long time to break dormancy. I see some leaves on the end of that. So we'll leave it and see what happens. Mulberry tree took a hit. This is really only, this one and that first yellow delicious tree, it's the only one that really got burnt. I never pruned this tree. This is the only one. This and the nectarine's the only 2 that I didn't prune, so I need to really come back and prune it, because this, you can see it's got crossing limbs and it's real leggy looking. But I think these trees are pretty hardy, and I think they can take it. This area behind the orchard, I think I plan to make my chicken pen. I will fill the, I've moved this pile of dirt that was here, briars and dirt, and it's got one stump right here, this deep. And that tree that's got that stump was a oak tree that I've showed before that went up and just curved over. Similar to this tree right here, which it'll be coming out too. I'm gonna take that and down. I'm gonna leave these other trees here. I think this will be a good shady area. I've limbed up all but that one limb. I've got all them limbs, but that one limb on the beech tree. Limb this up. Just been working on this area a good bit. It's a good shady area, and I think right here will be a good place for my coop to be. And that'll be a good place. And my idea is that I'm gonna build a perimeter fence around my orchard there, and then I'm gonna get some of that electric fence on the inside, and I'll let the chickens out into there once a day or something like that, and then at night lock them back up in their coop. But that way they can eat bugs and stuff in my orchard, and help keep stuff off of my trees. That's the idea anyway. I'll fill up their place in here with wood chips, and then they can get in here and scratch and poop in it, and then once a year I can come rake that out and use that in my compost. And then just beside it right here is where I think I'm gonna put my garden at eventually. And I've showed y'all this before, but this is a big ditch right here that's right behind it that I've been filling up with wood, and I've been putting dirt on it, and I'm thinking this will be a good place to make a hugel mound. And once I get this all cleaned up, I might plant some blueberry bushes on this or something. I'm not sure yet. So maybe some more fruit trees, and then plant some bushes up under the fruit trees. And I'm not sure, because I'm gonna make this is gonna be with inside the pasture. So whatever I have grazing in here, we'll be able to graze around this. So they might kill the blueberry bushes. So we'll figure that out as we go, though. I've kind of let all this go, leaving all this for the pollinators. Maybe a few more weeks and then I'll bush hog it. That's pretty much for this update. We'll see y'all next time. Thanks for joining us.